I was discussing this with my husband actually. And then I told him the support that you give, like daily support. And he was like, and it's only cost that much and you get this daily support. I was like, yeah. And so from our perspective, but for what you get, he was like, you get that level of accountability and support from them every day, including the weekends, for that much money. And I was like, yeah. So we were actually blown away by what you get for the money. And I'll tell you this as well, I would say in the last 6 weeks, because my productivity has gone up so much because I'm not sick, I would say my productivity for the last 6 weeks is probably a good 25 to 30% higher. And I'll tell you, we've launched 2 new programs in the last 6 weeks, just because I have had the energy and the brain space to do it. So if we were going to do like an ROI financially, probably like 100 times, because I've been able to actually get on and run my business the way I want to, because I've had the energy and haven't been sick. I mean, I worked 9 days straight, and actually I then just took 1 day off, and I made sure I was eating right and everything, and actually I'm fine. Like 9 days straight, even 2 months ago, that I would have been laid out for a week after that, not functioning. So that's what you need to remember. And I think that's what you need to remind business owners and stuff of, is actually, I would say this program has enabled me to increase my income significantly because my productivity's gone up and I'm not losing days to being sick.
I tried, I worked out, I think I've probably spent about £60,000 in the last 7 years on different promises almost from different people who have said this will work, and none of it did. It was always really disappointing and expensive, and you know, still paying most of them off. And yeah, and some of them made me iller because they tried to make me come off my medicine without the doctor's approval, and too quickly, and also on the wrong diet. Now I know. And she was telling me to come off my pills. So the combination of both, I got really ill, really ill. It just shows how little people know. Having been so desperate and miserable and worried and thinking I was going to spend my life going in and out of a hospital on dialysis, and getting phone calls every time I had a blood test saying something awful's happened in your blood test and you've got to come in and you've got to have this medicine, you've got to have that medicine, and having a life of that, I just couldn't take it. And when I saw that video, it just, I didn't even have to think twice about it. It was a no-brainer. And I just thought, actually, you know, and I think you don't charge very much for what you do. And I think, you know, you're just amazing. And I would just say to anyone out there who is in that scenario that they need to definitely do it.
I've not felt this good in years, literally years. When you guys haven't experienced something like that, which I know you guys have, it kind of makes the person trying to follow it as well. You're kind of like, well, they have no idea what I've been through. You know what I mean? So, and I know you guys had different things than I had, but you still had that same, you know, we got to get better. We got to do something to get better. And you figured it out, which is fantastic for a person like me who just sits here and goes, am I going to feel like this for the rest of my life? And you guys changed that for me. And that was the biggest blessing I could have ever been given. It's been so life-changing for me. And I can't thank you guys enough. My husband, my daughter, they're like, Mom, you know, my daughter, she's like, Mom, you're back. And that just, I had no words for, you know, I've been sick since she was little, and I've been able to do things with her and, you know, stuff like that. And she's 20 years old now. And she's like, all these years you were so sick, Mom. And now, you know, like dancing the other night, she danced with me the entire time and she had so much fun with me. And it was just, I can't even explain how much it changed my life. Truthfully, without you, this never would have happened. I'd have still been sick and wondering what in the world is ever going to change. So I thank you so, so much.
What you're doing is helping people get free from their from their disease, as opposed to keeping them just stabilized, or just like hospitals do the same thing, or doctors do. They just keep a person existing and keeping the money flow going, because they know if they heal somebody, they're never going to see him again. You are actually teaching people to be freed from the disease, whereas they're going to keep them bound for as many years as they can, to keep them just thinking that they're free from it by covering the symptoms and putting them in remission, as opposed to healing. But they'll say they're healing them.
I can literally feel my pain like falling off. I have a lot going on. I know you guys understand, but I know there's like often organ failure can happen with autoimmune. Like there's just been a lot going on with me that doctors haven't been able to figure out. And like I haven't afforded all the testing yet. And my family's been so concerned. It's just my connective tissue was so disordered that like everything was just wrapped in saran wrap too tight, to the point where like I couldn't breathe. It was suffocating. I remember thinking like, can a person continue on if your body has just broken down? Like it felt like my body was disappearing. Like wondering if you guys were legitimate. Should I take the leap, coming from a place of I've just tried so many things. Like you've said, I have made it my life because I've just been determined to not just stay alive, but there's always been just a teeny tiny light at the end of the tunnel that I've never let go of. Like something could change this and make me feel human again. You guys have, and just
it's been good. Like, I think, like I was eating decent before. So I think this held me accountable. Man, I've learned so much. Some of the stuff that I was eating that I thought was healthy, that probably was adding to my inflammation, which, wasn't really helping me, but I was still getting better, but maybe just slowly getting better. Once the 30 days hit, I think I can really start feeling a difference now. Like I'm really starting to feel something different.
Most of the times the people that are doing, most of the times the doctors that I've seen, working in this area, what they're doing is all kinds of different techniques to ultimately cover symptoms. And that's it. Nobody I've found yet, except for you guys, are truly getting at the root cause. And even a doctor I know who says she was going, that they would get at the root cause, all they do is put people in remission, thinking that it's the root cause, thinking that they've solved their problem. And it's not. And then thankfully, before I, came to you, I've met and talked with them and asked, straight on, okay, is this just putting things in remission, or is it getting it taken care of? And they really didn't give me an answer that was straightforward. So I knew that it was, they knew that it was not getting to the root.
Since I started the program, I haven't had diarrhea even once. Like not even once. I mean, that's something. And you guys are so based on what I read, all the scientific things. You are not like, you just use scientific basis, and it's just, I already told you, there's so much information there and so much science that actually are for advocating for this type of approach, but actually it's not really in the public. I think that you're doing an amazing job. I think that you are bringing back the hope for a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay, so what I wrote was, I couldn't be happier with the program. You were the first people who have said my arthritis could be a thing of the past. I was more afraid of not doing the program and missing out on an opportunity to be well.
Oh, thank you, Denise. It's so sweet.
Well, I only say that because it's a reflection of the way you've treated us. And I really do believe that you guys really want us, you give your all for us to get well. And you just, it's like a little toddler, taking off. You really want to help them, but you can't help them the whole time. You know what I mean?
Well, it's all of the symptoms that I was having, they're gone
Completely gone. So I was having insulin, like in the morning, glucose levels were really high in the morning, and a lot of headaches. My feet, they felt like they were burning all the time and they were painful. I felt like I had a nail, somebody was sticking a nail through them. And all that is gone. Tingling, I had tingling on my lips, my hands, my feet, all that is gone. This is my husband.
Crazy, the things that are out there that are trying to promote autoimmune recovery and health. And it's like, it's not real, you know, and people get duped into it, you know, and think that there's like an easier way to do it. There's so many coaches out there and people out there, doctors actually, that will say, I can help you, you know, they say get your disease in remission. They don't say reversal, right? And that was like a big difference for me, is that why are all these doctors saying remission and why are they saying reversal? I said reversal is forever. Remission is just a matter of time. You guys are just so knowledgeable in autoimmunity and in the immune system in general.
I came from a place where I know a lot about like getting healthy, right? But I don't know anything about how to heal autoimmune disease. And I just am so grateful that you guys help me, because I have a lot of dedication to my health. And it's just so huge that you've helped me like understand.
Well, thank you ladies for all that you do. I think that this field that you went into and the path that you took is really something that's missing in the medical field and in the homeopathic field, because I had been to homeopathic people as well and did not get answers. So I think it's amazing what you're doing and all the people that you can help, and I'm really happy that you guys are able to share that knowledge instead of just keeping it for yourselves.
Was experiencing typical hypothyroid symptoms like chills and fatigue. I just didn't feel well, just felt sick and lethargic. And so all that's gone, really. You guys are friendly and nice, and you help out because you seem like you care, and you give good direction, you give good advice. And you know, I like how knowledgeable you are about nutrition.
How would you say a process is different because you tried other things before?
I just didn't want to keep taking more and more supplements for months and months. I figured there had to be a better way. The supplements were about $600 a month. They told me it would take, 3 or 4 months on the program to really help. I like the idea of food as medicine. Like, that makes sense to me. But yeah, I've learned so much from you all, and I've learned what I was doing wrong.
On day 12 in your program, I started noticing that mostly all my symptoms went away. My hair stopped falling, my mouth, my eyes were not dry. My skin is almost back to normal, where there's no more rash. I have so much energy again. I can sleep more. I don't have any pain. I used to suffer from heartburn. I don't have any heartburn.
Feeling really good. My energy level has really increased so much. I've been trying to get healthy, but it wasn't until I heard it from you guys that it actually stuck for me. Like having that science, that real science behind it, and y'all are the right teachers.
Endocrinologist wanted to radiate the thyroid. I just was not comfortable with that.
What was it made you decide to work with us? Is it because just a food-based approach or anything else?
Great personality.
My husband said bright personality, but we didn't know that going in. That was a bonus.
I remember we had our first call. How did you feel?
Scared, but more reassured after speaking with you. You just hear about so many scams on the internet and that kind of stuff, but I just felt that you were the source, that you knew what you were talking about, doing research in immunology and a nutritionist. Felt that you both had the background that would supply what I needed. From my heart, thank you so much for the time that you have spent with me and the time that you have invested in your lives into this program. It's so important, and I am so appreciative of everything.
You're welcome, Susan. It's been a pleasure working with you.
I wish I could send you flowers somehow.
No.
The internet tells you there's no cure for my disease. The doctor says there's no cure for my disease. I'm grateful you guys for that. I don't know how you popped up there. I might have just been searching stuff. Because otherwise, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. When I tell people, oh, no, these girls are real. No, I talked to OKSANA last year, right? Now they believe me because I'm going through with it, right? I'm telling people about you, you know?
Right now, I have nothing. I mean, I can show you. When I was 18, this is the start of impetigo. So it was very severe. The program did help me so much on that, knowing what to do and how to do it. That's been very important because it does make me feel sure and secure that I know what to do every single day.
The diabetes is well under control. Right now, I'm not taking any diabetic medication. I went from almost losing my life. I'm actually whole, and Friday they gave me the permission to wear real shoes. I'm learning to walk, actually, and I can now swim. I can use the total gym. I am a believer. I was getting some very bad instruction sets from my doctors. They just don't have the background to be able to heal people.
I have no tendon rubs, which I have not had 0 tendon rubs in 4 years. So that's like amazing. My skin is so much softer. And then as far as like constipation, that has completely gone away. Like my eyes don't get as red as they did. I don't have to use eye drops as much. My mouth isn't as dry. The amount of progress I've made in 6 weeks is more than I had ever. Like I had never made progress in 4 years. I just kept getting worse slowly. It's worth it. Like you need to do this if you're thinking about it. If not, you're just hurting yourself. You truly need to do this.
Since being on the program, I've gotten a good night's sleep every night. Before that, I didn't get a good night's sleep for 7 years. I averaged between 2 and 3 hours of sleep for 7 years.
You're a blessing. When I found you, I was so happy. Everybody, but they just give you supplements and pills. So that's why I would say to the people who are thinking about joining your program that they need to do it. They don't need to think about it because it's gonna save their life, save their money, save so many things. I mean, we spend so much money, so much time from work, going here, going there, and I was so sick all the time. I couldn't even eat anything. I couldn't even sleep. I couldn't even breathe at night. It was scary. Don't think about it. Join the program that because you are a blessing, you are going to help them and really change their lives like you are changing my life.
I wouldn't want anybody to be scared to join this program to succeed. It's really not hard. All it takes is to join with you guys. Anything that they need, you're there for them. This is the best decision I've ever made for my health and for my life. You guys are very sweet, and what you're doing is saving lives.
In the first 2 weeks, like I was recovering from pneumonia and bronchitis that completely cleared up, which before it had taken 6 weeks and even then wasn't gone. So that was like amazing. I started noticing my joint pain was probably the next thing to go. And that was like at 4 weeks, and that I've had for so long and it got really worse with the Lyme. So I can do this now, and I'm still like constantly going like this because I have no pain, and it's weird.
I definitely feel that like inflammation has went down.
Excellent. And also your symptoms were gone in how many days?
Probably like a week and a half.
So after 2 weeks on the protocol, I was completely off my medication, gave me control of my life back. You can't put a price on that. Thank you both for that you offer this and that you're available, and that you both have put in so much work into making this plan work for people and being such great coaches. And I couldn't recommend you highly enough.
I spent tons and tons of money, over $20,000. I had surgeries that kind of left my body traumatized. I had a lot of joint pain all over, wrists, knees, back, shoulders. My menstrual cycle was off. A lot of gut issues. Like that was like the biggest thing. I felt like I knew what I was doing. That I know I needed to heal. I just didn't know how to heal. I was eating healthy, which I thought was healthy, but it really wasn't. It wasn't like healing. My ANA was positive for a long time. I didn't know what it was. I kept searching for answers, and everyone kept saying I had, oh, you have fibro, you have lupus, you have this. After working with you girls, it's negative again. So I'm so happy and grateful. I don't know how else to thank you because it's just been such an amazing journey. It's like everything like anybody should ever need in their healing, in their journey, or if they have any health issues at all, because you guys can basically help with anything.
I don't have the brain fog anymore. I have a lot of energy. I'm happy. I just want to assure whoever's thinking about this that it's definitely worth it.
My doctor at first put me on a paleo diet, which helped a little bit. But other than that, I've tried so many different supplements, probably on like 6 or 7 different supplements, spending hundreds of dollars every month, and none of them made a difference at all. So I knew that nutrition played a part in it, even though doctors a lot of times don't say it does, but I could feel that it did. I just didn't know exactly what worked best for my body. So I tried my best doing my own research, but when that didn't work, I kept researching and found you guys online. online and all the positivity and thought I tried everything else. I still want to try to avoid the scary medication. There's nothing to lose. That's when I just jumped fully in. The doctor who I trusted told me that blood might be new normal, and I didn't believe that. I don't think that blood every day is normal. So hearing that there was an alternative way and having someone hold your hand through everything, I think that's really important with the program with you. I had faith that it was going to work. So I said, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to invest in it, I better go all in, because why wouldn't I? All of my lab numbers are awesome now. It's like I never had thyroid disease at all. All my inflammation numbers are exactly where they need to be.
I wasn't having to guess. Like, that's the difference with actually working with you guys as opposed to trying to figure things out on my own. It's like you're shooting in the dark. You're like, let's try this and see if this works. Stop questioning, stop doubting, just do it. Not only will the symptoms of your autoimmune disease or chronic disease and your lab, all of that will reverse. Not only will that happen, but you'll be surprised at how many other wonderful things you'll notice too that change.
Size of my nodule went down by 0.5.
You can't put a price on your health. And before deciding to make this commitment financially, I spent quadruple at least going to doctors, getting constantly poked and prodded. This is an all natural method. If y'all charge $15,000, I'd find a way to make it work. Y'all are more than worth it. And my husband says it too. My kids are thankful for y'all, and they don't even know y'all.
You're not going to have health issues. You're saving a lot of money, and you're gaining years in your life.
I had joint pain. I had brain fog, dizziness, always tired, fatigue, and my blood pressure was high. I was on maybe 5 different or 6 different medications in the past 5 years. When the doctor told me, I could get a heart attack or, stroke any day and be on dialysis in 5 years, I mean, that's not how I wanted to live. Let's just enjoy and, be healthy, enjoy our life. And I would just say, do it. It's worth it. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
My mind is so clear now. I don't have this foggy thing in my head.
My digestion is working great. I'm a lot happier. Feel better in general. And I used to wake up feeling really sluggish and exhausted. Now I feel refreshed.
And I'm like, well, if they have these chronic illnesses that they are healing, why wouldn't it work for me? I hit a point where I was like, I either have to do this or I'm going to be miserable.
Eating this way helps your energy. I'm not feeling tired or lethargic, and my mood is good. So that has really, really helped. My energy is great. My digestion is good. You guys are so helpful, and thank you. The reports, I can't even believe you're every day you do this. I mean, so thank you, because it's so helpful. And you're right. I don't think that I could have stayed on it, but knowing that I have to report to you, knowing that you're going to report back, knowing that, you know what I mean? You're accountable. It's very helpful.
The last 15 years, I've been dealing with IBS symptoms. And it was kind of embarrassing sometimes, because if I was teaching or if I went on vacation, I'd always have to stay close to the bathroom. And so anyways, I've noticed since the first week I started on this program, I haven't had any IBS symptoms at all. And I've been really excited about my blood pressure. It's been staying low. And then my heart palpitations have been pretty much non-existent. And because it was every day, it's 1 or 2 or 3 times a day, I would have heart palpitations. And I haven't noticed it since, maybe, has it been 2 or 3 weeks? Yeah, I think it's been 2 or 3 weeks. I haven't noticed any heart palpitations. And then another thing I've really noticed is when I first started the program, I was dealing with a lot of muscle weakness. And, if I mowed the lawn or if I was working in the yard or even taking a walk, I would get really tired easily and shaky. And then yesterday I was just working in my yard, trimming bushes and mowing the lawn and just all kinds of things. And I did not know, I felt a lot stronger and more energy. And then all the weight loss. So, I've lost at least 20 pounds now. So that's been super exciting. My niece came over the other day, and the first thing she said to me is wow, your face is glowing. And so I noticed, that's been improving. I mean, I don't have acne or anything, but she just said, your skin looks amazing. And I'm so grateful for the both of you for the accountability part, because I don't feel like I probably wouldn't have been as successful if I didn't have you guys for the last 40 days.
After I went to the bathroom this morning, I had so much energy. The day full of energy. I could go for a jog following your plan to the letter. Obviously, I want this to work. I felt really good today. I went for a walk and I had loads of energy and it was good. It was a nice feeling. I felt clean.
I'm definitely feeling better than I was before the program. That's for sure. My mood is probably the best improvement. My energy is better. You know, the more I learn about everything you're saying, I think I was having like pretty severe symptoms that just like have not been acknowledged by anyone. Like,
how would you say a process is different from other doctors that you worked with or nutritionists?
The main difference, and what I really like about it, is that it's so prescriptive. You're like, do exactly this, have exactly this much. I really struggle when people say things. I'd worked with nutritionists that said things like, try and eat more apples, or, you know, I'm like, well, what do you mean? So for me, what worked super well was that you were like, exactly this, exactly that, have exactly that much. And the other thing that worked really well was the daily workbook, because you fill that in and then by the morning you're like, okay, make this change, slightly less of that, try this instead. It made it doable, because you were like, okay, fine. Even if I've had a day where that just felt really hard, you literally by the next morning you'd be like, okay, try this instead. It should make it easier. And yeah, just the fact that you told me exactly what to do was the best part, because then I'm like, if I really understand a process and I believe in it, I'll just stick to it, because the payoff's good enough. And the fact that the infections went away so fast, that also made it much easier, because I'm getting, you know, you're getting the results that you want, and that makes you want to stick to it more. It was that really, just the fact you told me exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it, daily check-ins. And even when I did have the couple of meltdowns that I had, you were like, it's okay, do this slightly differently. Then you didn't kind of just say, well, suck it up and get on with it. We're like, hey, let's change this. It'll be all right. Calm down. So yeah, that's what made it work for me.
Oh, that's good. I'm so happy because, you know, we care about our clients, you know, we don't want to be mean to you.
Well, yeah, that's it. And because I'm pretty good at sticking to something. By the second day, I was like, okay, I can do this. This is all right. And like I say, the results make it worthwhile. I mean, I was literally getting, it wasn't just UTIs I was getting. And I counted it up. Like in 9 months, I got 7 UTIs, 2 ear infections, a chest infection, and I had laryngitis twice. It was just like, this is just not sustainable. None of it was really serious, but it was so frequent that I was getting it. And whenever I took antibiotics, yes, they would clear up the infection, but they made me feel so bad. I felt so poorly when I took them. It's just like to not have that anymore. And honestly, since about day 5 onwards in the program, I haven't had so much as a headache, literally, like just nothing at all. I used to get stomach aches all the time, headaches all the time. Then I had all the infections as well. I'm super happy. And the fact that I've lost 15, 16 pounds as well, it's just a great, like, extra benefit, you know?
Cherry on top.
Yeah, exactly. I knew something was wrong because the weight was going on, and I was like, this is weird. Why is this happening? But it wasn't about losing weight. But you can't not lose weight, I guess is what I'm saying, whilst you're trying to improve your health. So it's just like, oh, that's nice as well, that my clothes fit better now. And
I'm much better than before. Everything is much better. Yeah, I can tell. All my family is happy because they see me better. I mean, I'm like probably 70%. My family is happy now when they see me.
All right. Well, thank you. You guys are fantastic and wonderful. And like Eliana said, a true blessing to people and to work for or to work with. And I didn't know what to expect. And just the fact I'm still astounded that you guys are here 7 days a week. I thank you and I wish you guys well and continue. And your patients are lucky to work with you. And thanks for being so kind. And I'm going to start crying. Just, you're so kind. You're wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your heart. I can't believe you guys exist. You guys are unicorns. I hope you know that.
Oh, thank you so much. Or you're going to make me cry.
There's always been just a teeny tiny light at the end of the tunnel that I've never let go of. Something could change this and make me feel human again. You guys have just unreal.
I was scared, just like everybody else when they started, like, well, maybe it'll work for them, but it's not, you know, maybe not work for me, but it worked for me. So my labs came back very good for my thyroid. I'm off of my med. I'm seeing the progress, and I don't want to be sick, and I hate medication. That's why I was like, I need to get on this, because going to a rheumatologist, and he was wanting to add more medication on to what I was already taking. I was like, this has got to stop.
That's what you're doing. You're changing people's lives, and you're doing, like I said before, you're doing God's work. You're doing an incredible thing here that doctors out there are just not doing for others. I hope that you have the strength in you to continue doing this for a long time. I thought I was going to die so many times in the beginning of this, and it was so scary. Seeing how much I've improved ever since all this began is just a relief. People have helped me this much, but you girls have just like brought it so much higher. It's 6 weeks with you guys, but it's a lifetime of knowledge and health for me.
My symptoms were severe brain fog. So I'm a nurse and I'm on the bedside with the patient, and I have to chart a lot. And the primary thing that was bothering me was I started having problems in spelling. And then I had very severe dry eyes, very severe dry mouth and skin. And I would gasp waking up in the middle of the night because my mouth is so dry and I could not breathe. I had difficulty of swallowing. I had severe arthritic pains on my bones and joints. I had severe arthritic pain and stiffness on all my fingers and bodies. I had constipation, like I was pooping only twice a week. When I joined the program, I actually wrote OKSANA and VIKTORIYA as like, hey ladies, I am very, very depressed and I have zero motivation. I am just afraid that I will start with the program and then quit 15 days into the program. I actually started feeling that on a scale of 1 to 10 of my symptoms, and I started at 10, the symptoms stayed on 2 on about day 15. It was on 2 on day 15. And around day 21, they were just gone. All these pains were just gone.
Made me feel really good. Like it made me feel full. I felt really healthy and my skin felt really good. Like I've actually lost like probably 30 pounds, which is, I just feel more myself. I feel healthier.
I was eating pretty good, but not knowing the combination. I think that's what the difference is with you guys. It's laid out. You know the combination, and then you make adjustments as you go. So I think that is the game changer. And I went to see a naturopath doctor to get in that program. I would have had to take supplements as well. And I didn't want to, I'm not really a medicine person. So I was like, I don't think we want to do that. And so my husband and I decided not to do that. And then, like I said, you guys came across maybe about a month later. You know, I already went to see somebody, and then they were wanting to do the elimination diet. But I was like, it just didn't feel right.
That's good, yeah. So because it's not just about what you eliminate, but what is it you're doing to heal? A lot of people just avoid the food that cause problems, but they're not doing enough to allow their body to heal. And that's what we teach. You know, we don't focus all the things you can have. We focus on what is it you have to do to get better. What would you say was your favorite part about working with us? What did you like the most?
Well, I think I just like you. You guys are friendly and nice, and you help out, and you know, I like the regular emails. I just like working with you because you seem like you care, and you give good direction, you give good advice, and you know, I like how knowledgeable you are about nutrition.
How would you say a process is different? Because you tried other things before. You've done a lot of things to help with your inflammation.
Well, everybody else provides supplements and, you know, all kind of things, right? So I went to one place, one nutritionist, and they gave me a bunch of supplements that were pig thyroid and bovine liver and all this stuff. And so I was taking a lot of that stuff, and it didn't make any sense to me. I didn't know why I was taking animal organ supplements. I just didn't want to keep taking more and more supplements for months and months. I figured there had to be a better way, you know. And it was expensive too.
How much were you spending? As you said, it was a couple $100s.
For that program, the supplements were about $600 a month. They told me it would take, you know, 3 or 4 months on the program to really help. Yeah, I didn't like it.
Well, before starting the program, I was feeling very weak, with a lot of fatigue, very tired all the time, low energy. Well, since starting getting this, I've been waking up with more energy, able to go outside and walk without feeling tired, like feeling out of oxygen or feeling tired.
And that's what I really needed. And I needed someone to say, okay, something's wrong, but we can fix it. And here's exactly how we're going to fix it. And that's really what I needed. And at that point, I decided, you know something, everything else has not worked. I can continue spending however much money over the next year, 2 years, 10 years on blood tests and supplements and trying to figure it out and joining the gym and everything, and really be exactly where I am because nothing else has worked. So I decided, what do I have to lose? At this point, if I did this and it didn't work, I would just add it to my list of things that did not work.
So I find that I go to the bathroom easier. And it's pretty consistent, like 4 to 5 times a day. I feel like I don't have as much of a foggy brain. I definitely don't have the fatigue anymore. I know towards the kind of in the beginning, I would get a little bit tired in the afternoon, and that was what I was experiencing before I joined the program as well. But now I don't find that happens anymore.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I'm totally blown away. For day one, because I'd been bleeding again, and bleeding stopped after one day. My gut just, I would say, so yeah, started on the Monday, stopped bleeding. I didn't have a lot of energy Monday, Tuesday. I was really white, but my gut straight away felt settled. So I was pretty happy with that. And by Wednesday, so day 3, I just felt my energy started to pick up. I felt my muscles were really fatigued, but yesterday and today, they're not nearly as bad, because yesterday I got out for a walk. It was absolutely fine. I felt my legs were great. Still a little bit, slight muscle pain, but it's definitely getting better every day. My energy is picking up.